Colleagues, this year you have joined me as we've stood against sex trafficking in our city and recognized women heroes in our community. But today it gives me great pleasure to recognize the hard work, dedication, and countless individuals to bring an end to violence against women. Most recently, the NFL scandals have brought to light the terrible impacts of violent relationships and how eagerly our society is to cover these crimes up. Last month, President Obama celebrated the 20th anniversary of the landmark Violence Against Women Act. And today we recognize how far we've come in fighting these terrible crimes. From the moment that the Violence Against Women Act was introduced, it changed law enforcement practices, improved the criminal justice system, and created a network of services for victims. But most importantly, it recognized the toll that violence against women has in our society. This bill established new federal crimes of interstate domestic violence, stalking, double penalties for repeat sex offenders, and sparked the passage of laws at state level to protect victims. From dating to domestic violence to sexual assault, we must remember that violence against women takes many forms. Since the passage of the legislation in 1994, we have made great strides. Rates of domestic violence have decreased by over 50%. Still, here in the United States, more than 1 in 4 women experience violence by an intimate partner, with 3 women per day dying at the hands of their partners. But these women are more than statistics. Each one is somebody's daughter, wife, mother, and best friend. We cannot stop fighting until no woman fears returning home after work or consequences of angering a loved one. So today I'm so proud to stand with a few incredible women that are helping victims of violence recover their lives to become survivors. Marianne Legou is here on behalf of the Northridge Hospital Center for Assault Treatment Services, also known as CATS, in the San Fernando Valley. CATS is the only 24-hour program for victims of sexual assault abuse in the San Fernando Valley and Santa Clarita. In addition to providing medical evidentiary exams for forensic interviews, CATS partners with the Valley Trauma Center to provide on-site case management and referrals to victims of all ages. I've worked with CATS since I've been in office and have seen the wonderful work they have accomplished in helping their patients, not only with the physical scars, but with the healing of mental scars as well. And with that, I would like to introduce Marianne Legou. Did I pronounce her name? Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to come here, and thank you for all that you have done for us. The council has been very supportive, and they have helped us into an amazing facility that helps these women. And without that support, this is a crime that was usually kept in the dark. But just the fact that we're here today, we're able in this light to talk to you about this. We are making a difference. We are helping. We are the first contact that our victims have through that legal system. So if we, with the support of Strength United, that we're co-located with, and law enforcement, can make that first contact as easy as possible, we can help that victim go through the entire legal system. They need a lot of help. They need a lot of support, and we are giving that all the time, but it is wonderful to see the support that you are giving back to us. You are making an amazing difference. We thank you for everything. Nuri has just been amazing, helping us, and we have a run in the spring for child abuse. We do on average 90 cases a month, and that is really probably 10% of what is happening out there. But the more we get out, the more we talk, the more people know where to go. And so for that, I'm very, very grateful that you would bring us here and help us. We are making a difference, but we have to continue. Even child abuse is on the decline, but that's where we want to keep it. And thank you, thank you, thank you again. I'm so proud to be here and proud to be a part of this program and for all the help that you've given us.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Marianne. I would also like to introduce Ann Conkle. She's with Strength United, a program out of Cal State Northridge's Michael Eisner College of Education. This program uses interdisciplinary approach to ending abuse and violence through the collaboration of mental health professionals, educators, researchers, students, and volunteers. From a family justice center to counseling, a 24-hour response program, Strength United is providing a wonderful service for every part of an affected family in the San Fernando Valley. Please help me welcome Ann Conkle.
Thank you, and thank you, Councilmember Martinez, for inviting us here today. Strength United is so proud to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Violence Against Women Act. It is an honor to be here to acknowledge the tireless efforts of all those who worked together to pass the Act in 1994 and its subsequent reauthorizations. Our agency and hundreds of others across the country are able to provide a coordinated community response to domestic violence, bringing together diverse stakeholders in law enforcement, social services, and mental health as a direct result of the Violence Against Women Act. But our work is far from...
Continue, please.
Thank you. As Councilmember Martinez referred to, our work is far from done. 1 in 3 women in this country are still victims of domestic abuse in their lifetime, and 1 in 5 women are victims of rape. Along with acknowledging the vital work of the past, today's resolution calls on us to rededicate our efforts to end these preventable traumas. The only way for this to happen is by events like we are having here today, where our entire community comes together to break the silence that all too often surrounds this issue. Only by uniting to provide support for victims and programs like those provided at Strength United and CATS to serve victims and prevent violence from occurring in the first place will we end the cycle of abuse. In this vein, I would like to invite each of you to an event that Strength United is hosting next Saturday, October 25th, called Walk a Mile in Their Shoes, an event where we will gather and march a mile in solidarity with victims of violence while raising funds for programs at Strength United. At this walk, many men choose to march a mile in heels to show solidarity with victims. For more information about that, please go to walkamile.strengthunited.org. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. I also want to recognize the Commission on the Status of Women. They were having their meeting this morning, but they came down to council chambers to help us recognize the importance of this legislation. So please help. Thank you so much, ladies.
Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you for coming down.
They are wonderful. And thank you both for joining me this morning to bring light to this important work in our community. I asked for an aye vote when we take up the item, and I have certificates for both CATS and Strength United. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ms. Martinez, if you could just stay there for a minute. We do have colleagues of ours that want to speak on this item. I just want to start off by saying God bless you all for the work that you do. I was raised in an era where people would say that's their family business. It's not for us. That was wrong then, and it's wrong now. Any man that would beat his children and to beat his wife will never, ever be a man. So I want you to know that this council stands with you in solidarity, and we would not tolerate any behavior like that. So if there's anything that we can do, we will be available to you. And anybody that's listening, a man can never be a man if you beat up on somebody that you know that you could beat up. That is one of the most disgusting things that when I think about it, just really. So we're with you. With that said, I want to turn it over to Mr. Bloomingfield.
Thank you, Mr. President. Voice from above. I just wanted to rise, thank Ms. Martinez for bringing this important issue forward, bringing this recognition on the anniversary forward. For me, it has a lot of meaning. 20 years ago in '94, I was working in Washington, D.C. for Congressman Howard Berman at the time, and I remember very clearly when this passed and the hope that went along with this and the coalitions that were formed, and we were very strong supporters of it then. And And over the last 20 years, all that's happened, there's been a lot of very good progress made in these last 20 years. And I'm proud to have been playing a small role in different ways when having a domestic violence summit, doing several different bills in the legislature about freezing assets of human traffickers, and then following that up here in the council to make sure that the city is actually doing that. Working with you, Ms. Martinez, on these issues is very important to me, and so I want to redouble my pledge to do that and to work with you and all of the advocates, many of whom I know well. So I just wanted to rise, add my voice in strong support, and urge an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Bloomingfield, for those words. Mr. Koretz.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I wanted to thank Councilmember Martinez in particular and all of you in helping to recognize the 20th anniversary of this important act. I think at the time we expected that this would really set the stage for an end to violence against women, and we know a lot of progress has been made, from shelters to hotlines to all kinds of other things, and it's changed the dialogue in our country. But we still know we have a long way to go. Everything from the celebrity cases we see to human trafficking, to the epidemic of violence against women on our campuses, which we're just starting to get a handle on. We know we have a long way to go. But this act 20 years ago was a great first step, and I think by the work that all of you do and all of us need to do, we will move much closer towards an end to violence against women in this city and in this country.
Okay, thank you for those words. You may want to take a seat. I do have some public comment cards on this issue. So if Ms. Martinez, if you could present.
Thank you very much.
One more round of applause for a bunch of very courageous women.